Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to another session, Dorsey's Resource. First, before we get started, I'd like to give a disclaimer. This video is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Please understand everyone's individual circumstance or situation may be different. It's up to every individual competent person to please do his or her own homework and research regarding this matter being discussed. This information is not to be construed as legal advice. If you need to seek a professional, lawyer, consultant, accountant, or whomever, please do so at your own leisure. Dorsey's Resource is not liable for any misuse of this information. These are simply my thoughts, views, and opinions on the topic. With that being said, all rights are reserved. I want to thank you all for joining me. The topic of this video is going to be the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, non-disclosure agreements. I'm going to go into the reasons why I feel they have put these in place, allegedly, because there's some people out here that don't believe that this is real. I already did a video in the past explaining that. I won't go into the detail. Maybe I might down the line again for those out there who are not aware that I do believe this is a legitimate opportunity. But as far as special contract rates and things of that nature, I do think that's a possibility if people have exchanged. I do have some notes here that I took with me that I wanted to go over to provide some insight into this opportunity. First, I want to say you're dealing with a high network of very wealthy people who didn't intend for the general public or a significant portion of the general public to even know about this opportunity. They only intended, they only wanted insiders, like people who were like their friends. If you've ever worked in government before, you may understand that there's an elite group of people that are like sit behind the scenes and they basically administer and tell the actual government people what to do. They're like, sometimes people refer to them as the shadow government or the Illuminati or the club. There are actual very elite secret societies out there, such as the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Club of Rome. I mean, the list goes on, actually. But these organizations do exist. But the reason why they want you to sign these non-disclosure agreements is like they don't want you to talk. They have different types of non-disclosure agreements. However, that certain people that they may be that may have worked with these elite people that may be close to them, they may have shared this information with, so to kind of provide you guys insight, that's how this information leaks out or whatnot. But there are actual dealers, currency exchange dealers out there that do or did sell Iraqi dinar at one time. I do know for a fact that Fifth Third Bank and Chase Bank actually sold dinar. I'm not sure if they still do, but I don't think even some of these currency exchangers that are even online or even the brick and mortar locations that one of them I know that still sells dinar or whatnot would still be in business legitimately if it was a scam. And I think the thing people have to understand is you have a legitimate side and you have a part that's where you have what do you call them, con artists that counterfeit currency. And then the old dinar notes from the previous government, those were the old printed notes. From what I understand, those are not going to be exchangeable. Only the new Iraqi dinar. That's why you may have heard certain currency dealers mention that term, new Iraqi dinar. Those deal with the new notes, not the old ones. So let's be clear. But to kind of stick with the subject, point B, I'm going to go down is they use these people use private trust accounts similar to accounts that big corporations use, such as for example Walmart, that's controlled or owned by the Walton family. The guy that started it, he passed away some years ago, so it was passed down to his family members. Trust accounts are very similar to business accounts where the corporations is family members of people that control these industries behind the scenes that you don't see actually. And this is like gets into private banking, and these elite people, they want you to sign these non-disclosure agreements. They don't want you to talk because they don't want you knowing some of these types of things or some of this type of education, because years ago Rockefeller said competition is a sin. So that means they literally take that serious. So this is an attempt, in my opinion, these so-called non-disclosure agreements are an attempt to blackmail you to keep you from talking to other people or sharing this type of information. But I was part of a private humanitarian program some years ago where I had to go through this process where we received this black card, which I showed in one of my other videos. I don't have it with me now, but you guys can check out my other video. And I feel like it's not right how these people operate. There needs to be better checks and balances in place, because what they can do with these non-disclosure agreements by blackmailing people is they can selectively choose certain people that they can put on a pedestal. And what this does, it creates jealousy and a whole list of other things I won't go into, believe it or not. And where they can take away your money if they don't like, if you say something political or whatever. But it's not fair that many of these people that years ago their families were allowed to make lots of money before they cornered the market and monopolized certain industries, and to not give other poor middle class people an opportunity or a chance to come into this type of wealth is very selfish, in my opinion, especially if they pose as though they're talking about doing humanitarian projects. Many of these corrupt people, I'm not saying all rich people are evil, but many of these types of people pose as philanthropists. And they use their nonprofits and foundations to pose as though they're doing a humanitarian cause, when behind the scenes, many of them are part of running child sex trafficking rings. For example, like Jerry Sandusky, where he was caught at Penn State, his organization was called the Second Mile. And that was caught, it was like they were laundering money through that organization. And this is similar, where they not only do these types of things with sex trafficking, they also use it with drug trafficking. And they were trying to accuse people with many of these prosperity programs and even this private humanitarian program that I was part of some years back, where we hadn't even had the opportunity to even come into this money or wealth, and they were accusing us of not being good stewards. Some of these prosperity programs, they were saying that they were accusing people of money laundering. And I'm not saying that you don't have those types of instances that go on, but not everybody is a criminal. They were treating us like this. They were lumping us in the same category. And I said, that's not fair. That's inappropriate. So that's my argument, that if these elite people are getting away and doing these things, this is not fair what they're doing. I think these non-disclosure agreements are a form of blackmail. And in my opinion, it's inappropriate. But if this does happen, there is a RV or there's a private contract rates or whatever, I recommend, you really take a close look and read the contract and decide if you're going to really do that. Because I see this as a way of them trying to really blackmail people and do other devious things to people that they're claiming that this is for a humanitarian cause. And that's just my opinion. I did give a disclaimer and went over some information that I think everyone should take a look into. So with that being said, I'm not going to be before you any longer. If you did take the time to watch this video, I want to thank you. Please don't forget to thumbs up, rate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, Dorsey's Resource. Take care.